Hey everybody, welcome back. Episode 2, Valheim. Today we're going to kill a big deer. We have a bow from last time. We upgraded it at least once. I did mention in the first episode I'll be showing you both ways of fighting the first boss. So we'll be doing a ranged approach, and then we'll be doing a melee approach too. So I'll show you both ways. We're going to need to build armor eventually anyway. Personally, I think the melee approach is a little not not the greatest. The ranged approach is definitely a lot easier. So yeah, we'll kind of go in and do all that. We do need to get some more deer trophies. And I don't know if I mentioned in the first episode or not, but repairing your stuff doesn't cost anything. So anytime I'm in the workbench to craft stuff, I'll just do that to get it going there. Bone fragments. So probably won't be able to upgrade the club. We'll see. There's a black forest nearby, but I don't know if I want to dive in quite yet. So let's get in and kill some deer. I do hear a deer. Oh, sweet. There's a 1-star. Oh, come on. Oh, I almost got him. There we go. The drop on the crude bow is something I'm not used to anymore. But that should give us our last trophy that we need, so that's awesome. We'll see. There's a higher chance on... Did we get it? Nah. There's a higher chance on the 1-star deer. But it is a lot of leather, so that's also nice. Cool. So there's another deer. So this is where deer become a lot easier to farm. Especially, you know, at the very least for the first boss. But there's our second trophy. Sweet. So now it's just going to be killing a few more so I can build the leather armor to show you guys that strategy. And I'm going to want to kill some of these seagulls. You can get feathers from trees too by chopping them down, but this is a little more reliable. We're still in the stage of the game too where you're going to want to pick up everything, mark stuff. Just hunting and gathering. Just like our ancestors. And it is worth noting too, I mean, early game wood arrows are the cheapest resource really to craft up as far as like fighting ranged. But I always like, even late game, I like having wood arrows on me to farm feathers and everything. Oh, I heard a deer over here. I love that you can just hear him chirping and barking. Just, arr, arr. Where'd it go? There's one. Ooh, thought that one was hitting the ground. Yeah, if anything, we can use this to explore, scout some stuff out here. More bees would be nice. Oh, I hear some crows. So whenever you hear crows, that means there's a black forest nearby. This early, we're going to want to kind of stay pretty far away from it until we have some decent armor. I don't want to get ganked by trolls or anything. This is another thing to note. There's a bunch of boar over here. There's a 1-star. Ooh, there's 2 1-stars. Oh my god. Wish we had a permanent base. Oh, that's awesome. It's gonna be a lot of resources. Oh my god. Switch. Ah! I wish we had our permanent base set up. But this will be nice to just make a note up here. I'll show you in a second. All the bloodshed. Why all the violence? Anyway. So stones like this. The second section here, look for wild boar who roam these lands. So these stones are going to have a higher chance of spawning 1 and 2-star boar. So you'll want to mark that. Just call it boar. And then that way, once you have your 1 or 2-star, you can clear it. So, ooh. Big patch of mushrooms up here. And I did see a house. Nice. With a bunch of raspberries nearby. Ooh. There's a ton of raspberries. And a house, another one with nothing in it. Person trying to grow a tree in the house. Not gonna lie though, I have done that. Or built a house around a tree. Okay, so there's some black forest. Steer away from. Oh my god, some carrot seeds. All right, we could probably take on these great orph. It might be a little too early, but there we go. Whew. Okay, so that is nice. Another one. There's the black forest. Yeah, we're gonna want these carrot seeds. That's nice having them this early. We can't do anything with them yet, but it will be nice. Okay. Yep, and Hugin's just gonna say, "Hey, bro, you're not ready." Wandering in the black forest can be very dangerous if you're unprepared. Yup. Early on, venturing out that way isn't really advised, especially if you're, still getting used to the game. Get comfortable with the meadows first. And there's some more black forest. Ooh. I don't know if I want to get... Okay, another thing that's not really advised, but I'm going to take on some skeletons here, because there's a couple up in this tower. This way we can get some bones. So skeletons are weak to clubs. It's worth noting. Okay, they're not going to have any treasure or anything for me. That's fine. But yeah, skeletons are going to be weak to clubs. So if you do want to take them on, definitely want to do that. There we go. Oh, that's a 1-star. Yep, we're running from that. The 1-star skeleton's definitely not going to mess with right now. I mean, if it's the only one. Okay. Wasn't too bad. Parrying him without a shield this early is kind of scary. Because it's basically you're parried at the same time. So, you can manipulate their attacks a little bit. So you basically just like walk in, wait for them to attack, and then you just back up. And you saw I was able to avoid 2 attacks there, so let's focus on some deer on my way back through. I think that should be enough to build the deer cape too with those bone fragments. Was a recipe that popped up here. I'll have to see. If you do, so that's another little beginner tip I can give here. If you do get lost, like if you're just exploring and you forget where your base is, if you hit M, wherever you last slept is going to be your bed that you slept in. So that'll just show up on the map there. You can also, I always like to mark my bases with a house and just type out base. And this will actually be perfect. So it is still daytime. You only know that because you haven't gotten the you are cold notification yet. That's typically when you want to focus on just running. There it is. You feel cold. So now your stamina regeneration is not going to be that great. And this is going to be where a lot of greylings start spawning out in the meadows, which is fine. They're not really threatening at all. But early on, they could be. I've just been playing this game, logged quite a bit of time in the last year that it's been out, so they don't really intimidate me at all, but they could. I definitely understand. Some honey, awesome. So necktails, now that I have a few, that's really only good in the meadows, so I'm just gonna do that because I don't want to cook those. The deer meat and the boar meat are really what I'm wanting to focus on right now. I'm gonna build a few more cooking spits here now too. Maybe just one more. I'll utilize it a little more, or optimize it, I should say. I'll optimize it a little more in the primary base once we get to that point. Another tip that I see asked a lot is like moving items quickly. So moving items quickly, if you open up like a chest or something, if you just hold control and then click on it, so control left click, that'll move it into, I think, the lowest spot available. Saves a lot of time on moving stuff over. Cool, so we're looking good on food here. Definitely have enough food for the first boss, so that's really nice. Alright, let's check our armor situation. So, you can't... The rag tunic, I mean, if you're having a hard time getting deer initially, you can definitely build the rag tunic if you want. Or the, not the tunic, the pants. I usually skip it. I'll build it later on when I'm building my little museum for each biome. But for now, I'm going to skip it. And also, normally, I don't really build the leather armor until I'm ready to go into the Black Forest. But since I'm going to be showing both ways to kill the first boss, basically just straight melee and then straight ranged. You can mix it up too, but I do want to have both. Or yeah, I'll explain the boss stuff later. So yeah, we'll look at Deerhide Cape. I won't be able to build yet with what we have, so that's fine. Got 3, we need 5. But we can do the leather helmet, the leather pants, and the leather tunic. Alright, so we got the helmet, the tunic, and the pants. This is a tip I always like to give too. So equipping stuff, if you just rapidly click on everything, it'll equip it all in order. It is a little slow, but if you do this, you'll equip. Got the helmet, the tunic, and now we're getting the pants. So that's really useful for, like, if you die and you have to go back and get your stuff. So wood arrows, we're going to need some here. What do we need to upgrade our club? We need 5, so I actually won't be able to do that. Stone axe, I don't worry about upgrading. The hammer is always useful. So it can't hurt to upgrade that to the max quality we're able to. The hammer you will literally need from the very beginning to the very end of the game. So the next step, we need flint, leather, and deer hide. I did just realize, now that I'm looking at the moon, that I forgot to give my tip about daylight. So I'll throw that in there right now, as soon as we hit daylight here. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to build the shield here. So the wood shield, there's 2 different options you can go with. So the wood shield is basically less armor, but you can parry with it. The wood tower shield has more block force, so with that there is some knockback that comes with it, but you can't parry with it. And then this is another thing that kind of pops up with each content creator or whatever. But if not, if you hit style on these 2 shields, there's a couple more shields later in the game too, but if you hit style and you click on one of these options, it'll make your shield look cooler. So I do need some wood, leather, and resin. I always like either this one. I think I'll go with blue this time around. So the tip with daylight. All right, let's get away from the fire here. So the sun is over there. So if you look, if you point your character, so the little yellow arrow on your mini-map, point that north. So just point it straight up and then look down. So the shadow that's being cast will tell you roughly what time of day it is. So with it being far over to the west, that means it's like really early in the day, just started. And you'll even notice how it's slightly moving to the north. So basically, if it's pointing dead north, that's midday. Once it starts getting further to the right, you'll know nighttime's coming. It will start getting darker, obviously, but you'll start noticing that it gets darker. That's usually when you want to start heading back towards your base. Really helpful later in the game when some of the later biomes, like the swamps, get a lot more dangerous at night. Same thing with the Black Forest. Yeah, nice little tip there. And now we have a shield, so we can go into blocking. So if you just kind of hold your shield out, you'll block, but you'll take a little bit of damage. I'll show you with this other boar here. So most enemies, when they make a sound, that's your parry cue. So when they make a sound to attack you, there we go. So it made a sound. I was just really slow on my parry most enemies. That's your parry queue. Really wanting to get in and take out EIKTHYR now. So we'll need 2 of these. So 2 deer trophies. That's what we're going to use to summon him in. Best food for the meadows right now is going to be these 3 items. So honey, cooked boar meat, cooked deer meat. I'm going to run 2 EIKTHYR. With the food flashing the way that it is, that's a good indicator that we can eat again. So we're going to do that. That way we'll get our health and everything regenerated by the time we get up to him. One thing to note too with EIKTHYR, if you're still new to the game, you'll want to fight him in the woods. Sometimes you'll get one of these altars, depending on your seed, but it'll spawn him like right in the middle of a field somewhere. So you'll want to make a point to kind of kite him into the woods. So we're going to offer the item. I'll show you the melee strategy first. I'll see if I can get it off. You can sneak attack him. Let's get him. So right away, you want to equip your shield and whatever weapon you choose. These sparkles are going to kind of converge on him. And we did get the... We got the sneak attack. So he does do quite a bit of damage. He's probably going to try and range us from over here. See, this is why having the trees is helpful, because he'll just run around and let you get some health back. It's going to be his range attack. Get a couple attacks in on him. And you can parry that melee if you're fast enough. I'm not. Probably gonna do his AoE bubble thing. Yep. So the parry won't parry him because he's a boss, but you won't take nearly as much damage if he hits you. Get a couple hits in on him whenever he tries to run in. So this is why melee is really not ideal. Especially, I don't know, you could probably use the flint knife or the flint spear might be a little better. Alright, it's the AoE. And if you wanted to mix it up too, you can take out your bow, you can range him down. This is basically just rinse and repeat. If it gets up really slow, that's going to be his range. So the slow, yep, when he's like that, that's when he does this bubble. And then when he does it a little faster, that's when you're gonna want to just like move to the side of him or behind him if you're close. I'll just rinse and repeat this whole process. My club will probably break during this whole thing. You can switch to the axe if you want. Alright, almost got him down. That should do it. So that's the melee strat. You can do it with a level 1 club, as long as you're getting that 3rd attack. Look at these hard antlers. We'll be able to get a antler pickaxe there. And we got our boss stone. So that'll let us get our first Forsaken Power. Hugin's going to tell us all about that. Since it's nighttime, I'm going to run back to the base before turning that in. We'll rest up and then I'll show you the range strategy. Alright, here we are. So we'll equip our bow here. So it's a level 2 crude bow with some fire arrows. This will be the range strategy. And then same thing here too. We can kind of look at the sparklies, get a good spot on where he's going to be, and try and release right now. There we go. See, it does a huge chunk of damage to him. This is why this is kind of preferred anyway. Look at that. Just chunking him. So the real strategy with this, use fire arrows. I mean, you can use flint head arrows. They do a lot more damage, but if you're newer and wanting to like kite them around so you don't get hit. Oop, I missed. But you want to do just fully drawn shots. Oh, missed that one. There, and that took all of what, 2 minutes? So he'll die again. Pick up the trophy. And that will also, so each time you beat him, you'll get 3 hard antlers and a trophy. So the trophy you will want to bring to the boss stones that you spawn at in the very beginning. So we're going to go do that. So you'll want to run up to that. And this is all 5 of the current bosses here. So you just walk up to this. You just hit E to read it if you need to. Antlers are branches of iron. Yup. Let's get out of that. And the trophy hook is what you're going to want to focus on. So you click that. It's going to be a Forsaken Sacrifice. Run and jump is improved. So your run and jump stamina, this is really like your traveling type power. So we're going to activate that. And that just gives you the power. It doesn't actually use it. Hugin's just going to tell us about it. Yep. Then he tells you to go to the Black Forest, which we will do in the next episode. Alright, so that is going to do it for this episode. Next time, we are going to start getting our feet wet in the Black Forest. We'll use those hard antlers. I'll show you what to do with that. So we'll kind of, yeah, we'll get into the Black Forest. We have kind of dipped our toes a little bit already, but remember to utilize the like or dislike buttons, and I'll see you soon. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.